Hello, everyone. Today, we're talking about a very specific, very uncomfortable feeling. It's that moment in your first job or maybe an internship when your manager gives you a task, you nod, you say okay, and as soon as they walk away, you feel a cold panic because you didn't really understand.
That is exactly where I am right now. My manager, Anna, just explained this new report I have to create. She was so clear, she used examples, and my brain just went blank. I nodded the whole time. Now I'm staring at an empty spreadsheet, and I have no idea where to start.
And what are you telling yourself?
That I can't ask her. I just can't. She just spent 10 minutes explaining it. If I go back now and say, sorry, I didn't get it, she'll think they hired the wrong person. She'll think I'm incompetent.
So you feel you have two choices. The first is to ask for help now and feel foolish. The second is to pretend you understand, waste hours trying to figure it out, and probably do it wrong, which will make you look foolish later.
Exactly. Both options are terrible.
What if the problem isn't the question you need to ask? What if the real problem is the belief that smart people don't ask questions at all?
I guess that's what I believe. When I look at the senior people on my team, they just know what to do. They don't seem to ask for help.
Most people starting their careers think that competence means having all the answers. They believe that being a good employee means being completely self-sufficient from day one. It's a very common, very understandable idea.
Right. You want to prove you can handle it. You want to be independent.
Of course, but that idea quietly fails. It leads you to where you are now, frozen, anxious, and unable to do the work. Because when you're new, you can't possibly have all the answers. The company knows that. Your manager knows that. The only person who expects you to be perfect is you. When you're afraid to ask a question, you are forced to guess. You are forced to assume things.
And when I guess, I can make a big mistake.
A mistake that costs the company time or money or even a client's trust. Think about this. A simple question might take your manager 2 minutes to answer, but a mistake from a wrong assumption could take 2 hours or even 2 days to fix. What do you think your manager would prefer?
When you put it like that, it's obvious. She'd prefer the 2-minute question.
Exactly. So the goal isn't to never ask questions. The goal is to ask them in a way that shows you are responsible, engaged, and respectful of the project's success. The truth is, when we don't ask, we are forced to assume. Okay, that makes sense, but it still feels difficult. There's this fear of being annoying. My manager is always in meetings. She looks so busy. I feel like my simple question is an interruption, a waste of her time. That's another common belief. My question is not important enough to bother a busy person. It comes from a good place. You want to be considerate.
Yeah, I don't want to be the new person who needs their hand held all the time.
But here's how that fails. That feeling often causes us to wait. We wait until the problem is bigger. We wait until the deadline is closer. We wait until our small confusion has turned into a major roadblock. We hesitate.
I'm definitely hesitating right now. I've been staring at this screen for 30 minutes, just thinking about whether I should ask or not.
And in those 30 minutes, you could have asked the question and already be working on the solution. That hesitation is often more about our own fear of being judged than it is about their actual schedule. A manager would much rather have a quick, planned interruption now than a huge, stressful fire to put out later.
So a smart question now actually saves them time later.
It does. It shows you're thinking ahead. It shows you care about the quality of the work. You're not just trying to finish a task, you're trying to do it right. This is about reframing the very words you use in your own head.
What do you mean?
Well, what's the phrase you keep using? Asking for help.
Yeah, I need to ask for help.
And how does that phrase feel?
It feels weak, like I'm failing, like I'm admitting I can't do my job.
Exactly. The words "I need help" feel like an admission of defeat. But what if you weren't asking for help? What if you were simply asking for something else? Most of the time, we don't need someone to do the work for us. We just need 1 or 2 missing pieces of information, a small detail, a confirmation. You don't need help, you need to clarify.
Clarify. That sounds different. It sounds more professional.
It is. Asking for help suggests you are lost. Asking to clarify suggests you are on the path, and you just want to make sure you're going in the right direction. It moves you from feeling like a lost student to feeling like a careful professional.
So instead of thinking I need help with this report, I should think I need to clarify one detail about this report.
Precisely. See how that shifts the power? The control is back with you. You are not a victim of the task, you are the driver checking your map.
Okay, I like this. It makes a lot of sense in my head. But what if it doesn't work in reality? If this is true, why do I still feel so much fear? I've seen senior people get annoyed with questions. What if I try to clarify something and my manager gives me that look? The look that says, you should really know this by now. That's my biggest fear.
That is a very real fear, and it's a valid one. Some people are less patient than others, and that's why the way you ask is so important. A well-structured question can prevent that look entirely. It's not just about what you ask, but how you frame it.
So there's a technique?
There's a simple mental model, a 3-part structure that makes your question sound intelligent, respectful, and competent. It works almost every time because it shows you've already done your own thinking.
Okay, I'm ready. What is it?
Part 1. Start with what you do understand. This is the most important step. It immediately shows your manager that you are listening and you have engaged with the task. You might say, okay, Anna, just so I'm clear, my understanding is that I need to analyze the sales data from the last quarter to identify our top 3 performing regions. So I'm not starting with, I'm confused. I'm starting with, here's what I know. Exactly. It builds confidence. Part 2, pinpoint the exact gap in your knowledge. Be specific. After you've said what you know, you can say, the part I need to clarify is whether I should include the online sales in that data or if this report is only for in-store sales. Wow, that is so much better than I don't know what to do. It's one specific targeted question. Yes, it makes it easy for them to help you. And finally, part 3, if you can, propose a possible answer or the next step. This shows you're not just waiting to be told what to do. You could add, I assume we should include everything, but I wanted to double check before I begin. This approach is very proactive.
So the whole thing would sound something like this. Hi, Anna. I have a quick question about the report. My understanding is I need to analyze Q3 sales to find the top 3 regions. The part I need to clarify is if I should include online sales. I assume I should, but I wanted to confirm with you first.
Perfect. How does that feel to say?
It feels strong. It doesn't sound incompetent at all. It sounds like I care about doing it right. And it's very quick. It's very concise.
It is, because it respects their time. You've done the work of identifying the problem. You've made the question easy to answer. A manager hearing that question isn't thinking, this person is confused. They're thinking, this person is thoughtful. They pay attention to detail.
Okay, I see the whole picture now. I was so trapped in the idea of asking for help, but this isn't that. This is more like a professional confirmation. I'm not going to her saying I'm lost. I'm going to her saying, here's the map. I think I know the route. Can you just confirm this one intersection for me?
That is the perfect analogy. You are in control.
So if I feel that anxiety rising, I shouldn't just sit there and hesitate. I should take a minute to prepare my question using that 3-part structure.
Yes. First, what do I know? Second, what is the one specific thing I need to clarify? Third, what do I think the answer might be?
And by doing that, I won't have to assume anything. I can get the information I need and actually do my work instead of just worrying about it. It feels so much more proactive.
And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. You'll build a reputation not as the person who asks too many questions, but as the person who asks the right questions, the person who is reliable and committed to quality.
I was so focused on not looking incompetent, I didn't realize that asking smart questions is what makes you look competent.
It's a shift from seeing yourself as a student who needs to know all the answers to seeing yourself as a professional whose job is to find them.
Yeah, that feels like a relief. I think I'm ready to go talk to Anna.
Hello, everyone. If there's a challenge you're facing at work or school that you'd like us to talk about, please let us know in the comments below. We read all of them.